The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. Play ball! It's time for the fun and excitement of West Virginia high school baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by
Trips Flooring, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Burke Schultz Herman and Jenkinson Personal Injury Attorneys, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, Hagerstown Ford, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations Robert Fields & Sons, The Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Floor Pools, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Martinsburg and Winchester Dealerships, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, The Palace Lounge, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mirius Group Ameriprise Financial Services LLC, and the Berkeley County Health Department.
And now for the pregame show. Let's go out to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome out to P.O. Faulkner Park here in Martinsburg, West Virginia, getting ready for the first day of the 2025 West Virginia State High School Baseball Playoffs, starting with Martinsburg taking on the Spring Mills Cardinals, a rematch from last week. EPAC play here between the 4 and 5 seeds in Region 2, Section 1 over here. Double elimination tournament between Martinsburg and Spring Mills and Jefferson on this side. In this section, the other side, Hedgesville getting the bye. 3-seed Washington taking on 6-seed Musselman. 2 games played so far between these two teams, Martinsburg and Spring Mills this year. Early on in the year, very first game of the year, Martinsburg comes out, gets a 2-1 victory in a pitching duel between Grant Henderson and Jacob Gumley. Grant Henderson on the mound again tonight for the Bulldogs. And then last week in a game that started right after the voting came out for the seeding for our playoffs this week. So in the end, that game last week didn't mean anything for those standings, but obviously it meant something for these teams to get a little more familiar with themselves. And Spring Mills was able to get the win 8-2. Dylan Bishop and Trip Tobin with you on the call. Nick Verzolini, Kyler High, Alec Epperson behind the camera, John Alderton, on-site producer, Colin McLaughlin back at the studio. Trip, playoffs begin today. We just saw these teams play last week, and winner goes to Jefferson tomorrow. Barring weather, it'll be tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But overall, it should be a very fun playoff here between all these EPAC teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember the very first game of the year we did, these two teams, and we talked to the coaches. And, Coach Ballard was talking about, being a little inexperienced and needing to get some experience under their belt. And, talked to Coach Barrett about this group of kids that were really hungry. And so I think exactly what they've seen in the spring, first couple of games, exactly what we've seen all year long. Martinsburg grew, and we've seen a very hungry Spring Mills team. So, that 8-2 game there the other day, I'm sure that Spring Mills isn't going to kind of hang their hat on that too much, knowing it was, kind of that didn't mean a tremendous amount. But at the same time, it meant a lot to Spring Mills to get that win, get that monkey off their back. And, that was big. But for Martinsburg, they seem to have this year come up during the big games. They had a couple guys who left the program, and when they played those teams, they seemed to really tighten down in the EPAC. And, they just this is a game that's certainly check-marked that, a must-win. And when they put some games on their schedule that they really wanted to win, through the regular season, you kind of seen a different team than you've seen that 8-2 victor or 8-2 loss there. And so I think you're going to see a little different Martinsburg team, and I think that the victory for Spring Mills actually, certainly put a boost in their step as well, knowing that they can beat Martinsburg. It's been a long time since they were able to do that, and now they're playing neck and neck with some of the best in the EPAC. So see how that plays against tonight. But Martinsburg has found a way to come up and win when people kind of wrote them off. Some really big games, and this is certainly one of them. And Spring Mills is just getting better and better, it seems, each week. So it's going to be really fun to watch. Good Musselman Washington game up the road going on tonight at 5 o'clock as well. So we'll get it on Game Changer and give updates. But it's going to be a fun week, rainy fun week.
Yeah. J.P. Sweeney versus Grant Henderson, the pitching matchup here tonight. Tripp, as a coach, when you get into a situation like this, double elimination tournament where you can play, four games in 4 days, 5 games in 5 days. Do you approach the pitching rotation a little different than you would just in a regular situation?
Yeah, I mean, you go over it. I mean, it keeps you up at night. Like, do I throw my number one first day, or do I have my number one later in the week? I mean, it's a long week. Losing one game doesn't put you out of the tournament, but certainly losing two does. So, for sure, it plays into it. And
the loser gets tomorrow off.
Yeah, the loser gets tomorrow off. I mean, losing this game for either one of these teams is certainly not a nail in the coffin. I mean, with, let's say Spring Mills doesn't win with Cumley and that whole pitching staff they have in the tank, or Martinsburg doesn't win, and they still have Jameer and all those and Alter and all those guys. So, I mean, they're dangerous. Their depth in pitching is dangerous. It's going to kind of come down to Martinsburg, hitting and not leaving base, not leaving. Base runners on as they did, and winning the free base game like Coach Ballard says. And Spring Mills, I think their key to victory is trying to figure out the juggernaut that is that is and has been all season long. Henderson, and I think we're going to see a game like we've seen the first 2 years. It was a 2-1 game, and I think it's going to be a tight game again.
All right, we'll take a 2-minute break, and we'll have our coaches' interviews on the other side. This is West Virginia High School Playoff Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Roundhouse Authority invites you to the Martinsburg Heritage Fair and Festival, May 10th and May 16th through May 18th at the Roundhouse in downtown Martinsburg. The Apollo Civic Theater and the Adam Stevens House, which will host cave tours. Enjoy the farmers market, food trucks, a petting zoo, pony rides, barrel rides, square dancing, and a model train show. Civil War and railroad displays, plus a tribute to Patsy Cline and lots more. For a full schedule of events, go to theheritagefestwv.com.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Did you know a fully loaded truck weighs 80,000 pounds? I do know that they can cause a lot of damage in a wreck.
Over 40,000 people die every year in crashes.
And distracted driving is getting even worse.
I wish we had better ways to prevent distracted driving.
Me too. But one thing we can do is help people who've been injured in car and truck accidents.
Hurting almost heaven? Dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
May is National Stroke Awareness Month, and WV Medicine would like to remind you it's important to recognize the signs and symptoms and be fast in seeking medical attention. B. Balance loss. E. Eyesight changes. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. And T. Time to call 911. Immediate treatment can decrease the risk of disability and prevent death. This important message is brought to you by WVU Medicine.
Welcome back to the Hagerstown Ford postgame or pregame show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Get to our coaches' interviews brought to you by Trips Flooring. We sat down with Coach Barrett and Coach Byler before this one. Hear from both of them now.
Coach Byler, the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Coach, coming in at Spring Mills tonight. You guys just had yourself a game with them last week. Obviously, the voting had been turned in at that point, so in terms of record and resume and stuff like that, it didn't matter. But obviously, I'm sure you took some things away from that game. What would you say that they were?
Yeah, we walked 9 guys. So if you walk 9 guys, you're going to lose the baseball game. That's about the only takeaway I had from it. You know, tonight's a new night. It's a new opportunity. It's playoff baseball. You know, things are different. Hopefully our guys rise to the challenge tonight and are ready to go.
JP Sweeney is pitching for Spring Mills tonight. Grant Henderson for you guys. Why'd you decide to go with Grant here? Was there any sort of couple different directions that you were thinking of going with that, or you just said, first game we're going to go with Grant?
Oh, I think, there's a lot that goes into it when you look at it. I think, Grant hasn't pitched against them since the first game of the year, and Jameer just pitched against them, and vice versa with, if we were to win and play Jefferson tomorrow. So that's kind of what we went with that. We got confidence in both those guys, and we know Grant's going to go out tonight and give us a quality start.
Whether it's Sweeney being on the mound or just Spring Mills in general, what have you taken away from them specifically that you think, this is the type of team they are and we need to do these things against them?
Well, I think you have to give credit where credit's due. I mean, they're drastically improved from years past. I think they're playing with some confidence. We got to keep them off the bases. We gave them way too many free bases the other night, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're going to give them that many free bases, they're probably going to beat you. So they're doing a lot of the right things, and we're going to have a tough baseball game here tonight, and hopefully we do the right things, and I think we're in for a good one.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Dylan.
Are you here with Coach Barrett of the Spring Mills Cardinals? Coach, last week's game against Martinsburg, when you came in here like you do tonight, voting had already been turned in, so obviously from that sort of perspective, resume or whatever, it didn't end up mattering that way. But what did you take away from that one when you guys were able to get the win?
I've been saying it all year, man. Like, we just got to hit the ball. That first time we played them, which was week 1 of the season, which a lot can change in a time period like that. But you look back at that first game, and we just didn't hit the ball. Our pitching didn't well, but we just didn't put the ball in play and didn't really do a job. And last week we did it. We put the ball in play. We executed when we were supposed to. Put the ball in the gaps, and that's why we won.
They're going back to Grant Henderson here tonight, like they did in that one. Back at the beginning of the season. What do you think you can draw back from in that one when it comes to hitting against him specifically? Do you think?
He's a good pitcher. He controls the game. Gets the ball out of his hand quick. He controls the running game. We just got to start early on him. Honestly, I feel like if we put a couple runs up in the beginning of the game and trust our pitcher to go out there and do his job, I think we can kind of take it from him again.
And it looks like you guys are going with JP Sweeney to pitch for you guys. It seemed like you guys had a few options you could have gone with. What made you go with Sweeney?
He's just honestly been our guy this year when it comes to EPAC games. He's shown that he can go out there, be gutsy, do what he's supposed to do, even in tough moments. So we're going to see how he rolls, and hopefully he gives us a good game.
What would you say through this entire week, no matter how it goes, that you feel like if you can do this one or two things well, that you think that this will be a good week for you guys?
Hitting, man. Hitting's the biggest thing. Putting runs on the board, man. Like I said, the guy that has the most runs on the board wins the game. So if we hit like we have all year, we're gonna be a tough team to beat.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Coach Barrett and Coach Byler sitting down with us. Get you the starting lineups for both sides, brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. For Spring Mills, they will start with leadoff man, shortstop Bryce Anders. Then they'll go with pitcher J.P. Sweeney, first baseman Rylan Schwartz. At third, in the cleanup spot, Aiden Eichelberger. It's cleanup. Catching Jake Anderson, the designated hitter. Number 7 will bat fifth. Then it's Landon Stanley batting sixth at third base. Landon Trumpauer bats seventh in right field. Tristan Wysocki bats eighth at second base. And Keelan Curry, center fielder, will round things out. On the Martinsburg side, Jameer Brown leading off at shortstop. Silas Zarnecki in the 2 spot at third base. Christian Alter, the second baseman, bats third. Nick Domenico in the cleanup spot in left field. Grant Henderson, the pitcher, bats fifth. Malachi Green in right field will bat sixth. A DH, Braden Armalt will bat seventh. Bradley Loper, first baseman, will bat eighth. And R.J. Brown in center field will round things out. J.P. Sweeney to Aiden Eichelberger and Grant Henderson to Braden Fox will be the starting batteries, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body. And with that, we will take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with more West Virginia High School baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
You have choices when it comes to appliance repair, but before you call a large corporate chain, consider what BW Appliance brings to the table. BW Appliance Repair offers fast in-home appliance repair services to the eastern panhandle of West Virginia, including Jefferson County and Berkeley County. We strive for professionalism, dedication, and honesty. Call us today at 304-279-8858 to schedule immediate service. You can also visit us online at bwappliance.repair.
Hey, it's Cody from Cody's Auto Body.
You're a potty mouth.
But we do a really great job fixing cars after an accident.
I know, but you're still a potty mouth.
I'm possibly the best friend you could ever have.
You are, but potty mouth.
If you need your car repaired, come to Cody's Auto Body, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Because that's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
See? Potty mouth.
Leave me alone.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Spring has sprung. Time to head to Orr's Farm Market to find your flowers, veggie plants, bagged mulches, and potting soil. Visit our bakery counter to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't forget our pie flavor of the month, Boston cream pie. We have West Virginia food products, local coffee, honey, maple syrup, dairy, and meat. We have 25 new Orr's jam and salsa flavors for you to try. Check us out at orrsfarmmarket.com. And remember, Orr's Farm Market, happiness grows here.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
P.O. Faulkner Park here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. First day of the 2025 Region 2 High School Baseball Playoffs here in Martinsburg, as the Martinsburg Bulldogs take on the Spring Mills Cardinals. Dylan Bishop and Trip Tobin with you on the call. Nick Verzolini, Alec Epperson, and Kyler High behind the cameras. Colin McLaughlin back to the studio. John Allerton, on-site producer. And Grant Henderson toes the rubber here, top of the first. Getting ready to take on the top of the order for the Spring Mills Cardinals. Left to right field, it'll be Nick Domenico, R.J. Brown, and Malachi Green for the Bulldogs. In the infield, from third base to first base, it's Silas Arnecki, Jameer Brown, Christian Alter, Bradley Loper, Braden Fox behind the plate, Grant Henderson on the mound, Braden Armold, designated hitter.
I think we've got about 2 hours window here, so we know Grant likes to move quickly.
Yeah.
And the umpires know that there's a little rain threat, so expect the game to move along if at all possible, and that could play a little factor into it as well. If you get in 5 complete innings, the game's over. So you may not have your 7 full innings of of swings there. So you're going to have to, as Coach Barrett alluded to, you got to swing the bat. You got to hit. You got to score runs, and I think what he said was pretty prophetic. The team who scores the most runs usually wins. So I think we figured that out after most of the season.
It's usually how it goes.
So it's going to come down to who can hit the opposing pitcher.
There's flood watch warning starting tomorrow. Potential precipitation goes up to about 60% at 7 o'clock through 10 o'clock and climbs to 80 and 100% overnight.
It's going to rain some, isn't it?
So that's why this game was moved up from a 7 o'clock start to a 5 o'clock start. So now we will get the first pitch here inside to Bryce Anders. First pitch brought to you by the Mary's Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors. John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or call him at 304-263-4343. Strike one comes in for Anders.
Behind the plate, Tim Offit tonight. 4-man crew for the umpires.
And there's a swinging strike 2 now as Henderson blows the fastball by Anders.
Tim Offit behind the plate, Jeff King at third, Rick Alderman at second base, Matt Heidel is over at first for tonight's game.
1-2 from Henderson. Strike 3 called. I think Anders thought that was coming in low for ball 2, but that gets us the first out of the game.
Yeah, he thought it was a little bit low. Tim Offit disagreed. Good stick there by the catcher Braden Fox, the young man who's caught the majority of the innings here for Martinsburg this year, probably 90% of them at least, and done a great job at it. And for a sophomore, he had his days when he looked spectacular, and there was other days, but he's really settled into the position here. And that was just all part of a strike 1 comes in. That was just all part of the growing process for young Braden Fox this year behind the plate, catching his pitching staff. Sweeney steps in here.
And Sweeney will get a look at Henderson on the mound before he takes the mound himself. And this pitch 0-1 will be fouled off to the right field side.
Looked like a little bit of a slider maybe away there. First pitch fastball down for a strike. Second pitch he kind of came back at him, so he's up 0-2. Henderson quickly up.
Here is the 0-2. Breaking ball outside. Sweeney's able to lay off.
Yeah, big curveball there by Henderson. Good block there by Fox. But got to be careful with Sweeney. You don't want to give him nothing sweet to hit 0-2. He's got home run power. Hits for average, gap-to-gap guy. So dangerous hitter up there.
Here's a chopper over to third base. Sarnecki brings it into his body and throws over the first for the second out.
Yeah, good job there. Grant got up early, 0-2. Threw a couple pitches there that he had to fish for, and there he had to take that outside pitch. Tried to pull it instead of going with it. Soft contact is Alex Sarnecki for out number 2 for Grant Henderson as he's going to face Rylan Schwartz here now, the first baseman.
Top of the first, brought to you by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880. First pitch to Schwartz. in low for a ball.
Schwartz has really come on here as of late in the season. Power hitter. He plenty of extra base hits in that number 3 spot he holds down.
He's going to swing at the 1-0 and miss for strike one.
You see with that swing and that body size of his how he can hit the ball for extra base hits. See, he didn't take nothing off of that one.
And this is another ground ball on the 1-1. This is over to shortstop, Jameer Brown with the throw and the out. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Grant Henderson. Keeping up the strong work against Spring Mills like from the beginning of the season. Start off here after 1. After half an inning, it's still 0-0. Take a 60-second break. Come back for the bottom of the first. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Bottom of the first on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the tri-state area, call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-250-3551 or visit them online at modernrealtyresults.com. 3 up, 3 down inning in the top of the first for Grant Henderson on the rubber for the Bulldogs. Now they'll come up to bat against J.P. Sweeney, throwing to Aiden Eichelberger behind the plate for Spring Mills' starting battery. Those starting batteries are brought to you by Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
Seen a quick 1-2-3 inning from Grant Henderson up in Musselman. Down at Washington. Musselman still batting at the top of the first. They're up 1-0. Men on first and third. Sven Dupree is on the mound for Washington. At the moment, a couple singles and a ground out have given Musselman the one-run lead with one out here as J.P. Sweeney kind of gathers his thoughts here and gets ready to face the leadoff batter here, Jameer Brown from Martinsburg.
Okay, what's the pitching battle over there, Trip, between Musselman and Washington?
What's that?
What's the pitching battle?
Excuse me, sorry about that. So Sven Dupree is on the mound for Washington, and at the moment we don't have a starting pitcher for Musselman because they haven't been to the field yet, so the box doesn't show their positions.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that as Jameer Brown, leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs, starts with a 1-1 count after 2 pitches from Sweeney. Now here's the next one, and that'll be a fastball low for ball 2.
It's an RBI single by Tanner Sharp that give them the lead up there, and we'll keep you updated there. The winner of that game will face Hedgesville tomorrow.
2-1 will be a fastball on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So Brown will step back in, and he'll look at this one high. Ball 3.
Henderson's first inning was a 1-2-3 inning, of course. A strikeout, 2 ground outs, 11 pitches, 8 for strike, so worked very efficiently there for Grant Henderson. J.P. Sweeney looking to match his counterpart.
And Brown's going to get a hold of this one out into right field, but it's lined at Landon Trumpauer over in right field. Going over and making the play.
Yeah, that ball left the bat, had a gap, looked to it. Right-handed batter stayed behind the baseball there, and it kind of curled back in towards the right fielder. And Trumpauer ran it down out there, but he pretty good barrel on that one, so he has to be happy with his at bat, even though it didn't really reward him with the base hit. But that's how baseball is sometimes.
Sarnecki Silas Zarnecki will take strike one to start his first at-bat. For most of the year, Zarnecki's been the on-base percentage leader for the Bulldogs. And he's going to hit one into play over towards Trumpauer. This time he has to reel over to the right field line to make this catch. And he will.
They tried him on the left, and they tried him on the right. So he can catch going both ways, to the line or to the gap.
They've got two opposite field flyouts for the Bulldogs to start off. Perhaps a little behind the pitching of Sweeney. I'll bring up Christian Alter, playing second base to start off here today. And the first pitch from Sweeney gets away from him, bounces in front of his catcher.
A little bit of a matinee here, but the stadium's filling up.
People coming in from getting off work.
Like John. Can't believe they didn't hold the game up for you, John.
1-0. Alter lines it, and it's a tough play for Anders over at shortstop. Takes its first bounce right under his glove and into left field.
Yeah, left the bat. I think Anders thought it might dive and he might get a hop, but it just kept carrying and stayed on the line and kind of didn't quite read the hop there. So a hot shot to the shortstop there. It would have been a heck of a play, but he was able to dig it out of the dirt there. But it hits the turf there and ricochets by him and or shoots by him out into left field for a 2-out base hit for Alter.
That'll bring up Nick Domenico hitting in the cleanup spot. And he's going to take the first pitch high, ball one. Domenico's missed the majority of the season, but stepping up here into the cleanup spot. Only, maybe a week or two back from his injury now at this point.
Stepped right in like he didn't miss a beat.
He's going to take ball two as well.
And it goes, been certainly missed this year for Martinsburg as, a few guys, like they graduated a few guys out of the, left the team there, chose other avenues, and then Nick gets hurt, so they started off the year, with a lot of youngsters in the lineup.
2-0, misses the zone as well. 3 straight outside of the zone here for Domenico.
Martinsburg able to have a winning season, be competitive in every game, and hats off to those guys. And as Coach Ballard said at the beginning of the year, we just need the reps. We just need the experience.
And make it a 4-pitch walk. There's a bouncer that'll send Domenico to first base.
Yeah, again, that first game of the year was a big game. Kind of a statement for Martinsburg saying, "Hey, we're here. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be tough. You don't write us off." That second game, the standings had come out. Certainly, Martinsburg, no way, shape, or form were they not trying their hardest. It's just that they just reach down and get a little something. It seems like when they have had to in some of these big EPAC games and some of the games that they kind of had highlighted on their schedule, we want those games, And I think at that point, of course, you don't have to highlight the regionals. You want those games, but Martinsburg has showed up in the big games, and that has to, that's going to play into this. Man for man out there, there's a lot more experience, I believe, varsity experience on that Spring Mills team and a lot of tough talent out there. It's just it's going to be a great 7 innings here if we can get them all in.
Sweeney will step off as Grant Henderson steps in. Pitcher versus pitcher on the other side here with runners on first and second and 2 outs in a scoreless game here in the bottom of the first. Sweeney's first pitch, breaking ball across the plate for strike one.
Yeah, big curveball there. At first I thought it was kind of a hanging curveball, but it broke pretty well over to the other side of the plate.
Henderson steps back in for the 0-1. Sweeney with a look back at second. Now to the plate. Foul tip into the glove. 0-2.
I'm not sure what that pitch was. Didn't seem like it had the velo of his fastball. Didn't break, so maybe it was a change up there. Whatever it was, he disguised it well. Had Grant out in front.
Sweeney looks in for the sign from Eichelberger. Now he readies. And the pitch. And taken just off the outside corner by Henderson for ball one. Spring Mills dug out one of that strike 3 call. but I think it did break just barely off the plate.
They were looking to end the inning on that pitch.
Just barely couldn't get the call. 1-2. Runner will go for third because no one's covering. So Alter gets there, and it ends up a double steal as Domenico takes second.
Now Henderson can really do some damage here with the speed of Domenico out there at second. With 2 outs, he's going to be going to, as soon as the ball's hit, if he can find himself a base hit here, he can go up 2-0 pretty easy.
And he'll step back in, 2-2 count.
We're already in the first inning, and this is a huge at bat.
Absolutely. Here's the pitch. Sweeney, fastball outside.
Yeah, it looks really good from the right side over there. And if you're on Spring Mills, it looks like it's not even close if you're on the left side and the orange and black side.
That's how it goes.
From where my standing's at, I think you got it right.
Sweeney readies. This one's hit up the middle. Slow enough for Anders to get in front of it, but it bounces off of him. Run scores. Now Domenico gets caught napping between third and home, and they throw back to third, and they tag him out.
Martinsburg able to get that run across, though, before the tag out as Henderson made it to first. And run come across, and Christian Alter, the ball kicked off of Anders there at shortstop. He gathered it up and caught Nick on a big turn there, and he threw back behind him and got back pick. So that's how the inning's going to end, and we'll be back.
Yep, Martinsburg takes the 1-0 lead. We'll go to the second inning after this 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School playoff baseball. Talk radio WRNR and TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Top of the second inning brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball. Martinsburg able to get a couple runners on base. A double steal with 2 outs and those runners on allows the runners to get into scoring position. And an error out in the field by Spring Mills shortstop Bryce Anders allows Christian Alter to score and put 1 run up on the board. And Nick Domenico is caught in between third and home for the third out.
Yeah, just a great play there from Anders, who, when he knocked it down, he realized he didn't have a play at first, and so he turned immediately, looked to third.
Grant Henderson comes up for his second inning on the mound, already with a 1-run lead.
Helped himself a little bit. Musselman's up 3-0 over Washington. Finally, after Washington gets out of the top of that first, as a strike comes in for Eichelberger. During that inning, a big triple by Stanley was the 2-run triple. The 1-run single by Tanner Sharp. His big curveball comes in.
Yep, strike 2 as for Eichelberger here. Is Tanner Sharp on the mound for Musselman.
And at the moment, after 3 at 3-0 lead, Dupree was Washington. Tanner Sharp is on the mound for Musselman.
Yeah, ball 2 comes into Eichelberger off the plate, breaking ball away. After a 1-2-3 inning from Henderson in the top of the first, he looks to get through the 4-5-6 in the Spring Mills lineup as the 2-2 is low for ball 3.
Eichelberger the older catcher of the two that they've used this year with the DH that Jake Anderson also has given him a few days off. The freshman, Jake Anderson, who's DHing tonight. Usually they kind of switch roles every now and then to give each other a rest, so Eichelberger able to get some rest this year behind the plate.
3-2, fastball low and outside for a leadoff walk. And Spring Mills with their first base runner.
Yeah, that's a rarity for. I mean, if you look at his stats, I mean, they're phenomenal. The innings he's pitched and the walks he's given up. I think he's pitched nearly 50 innings and only given up maybe. You can maybe hold me to it, or you can check it, but I think he hasn't even given up maybe 10 or 11 walks. And that much work is phenomenal at this age.
Jake Anderson, as you were just mentioning, he's up next here in the 5 spot. Henderson will get across strike 1 to start the at-bat.
If he's got another growth spurt in him from freshman to senior, he's going to be a big young man.
Oh, 1 from the stretch. Henderson gets a swinging strike 2.
Put the courtesy runner out there for catcher, right?
0-2 from Henderson. This will be just outside. Ball 1.
Try to get him to fish there a little bit. Henderson does a great job holding the runners.
Another pitch from Henderson. It's going to be hit over to Loper at first. Tags the bag, and he's going to hold on to the ball and not try to make a somewhat risky throw to second base for the double play. So it'll be a fielder's choice.
You know, you look at it on the camera, you see Jake Anderson just kind of weakly ground out the first base. But let me tell you, that's really big because with 2 strikes, you got to get the ball in play, try to hit the ball there behind, hit the ball, at least not strike out, do something. And he gets a quality at bat by moving the runner up. Just by, refusing to strike out there and get a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Just as good as a bunt. And certainly he wasn't trying to hit weakly there, just trying to hit the ball. But good things happen when you put the ball in play and you don't strike out.
And first pitch swinging is Landon Stanley. He'll throw over to third and get the lead runner. Trying to make a play. Aggressive base running doesn't work out for Spring Mills.
Yeah, right back to the pitcher. That wasn't the play there. He was already in scoring position and, caught there, taking off for third. Easy pitch and throw from Henderson to Zarnecki and the tag out. And that's going to get the pinch runner, Caden Renner, who was tagged out on that play. And that's going to have Stanley on first base with 2 outs now instead of, runner on second with 2 outs.
Tripp, I got to tell you, you know your players well here. Grant Henderson, 49 and a third innings pitched, 61 strikeouts, 11 walks.
Yeah, I knew his walks were way down and probably might be the least, walks per inning average that we've seen in a long time, and certainly this year.
It's an 0-1 start to Landon Trumpower here, too, for Henderson. Here's a softly hit ball over to first base. Loper's going to be able to make a play, and dodging the tag is Trumpower, and not being called out for being out of the baseline at the very least because he's on here, but the play's made. Loper makes the throw over to Henderson, and they get him in time.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a matrix thing there where the umpire didn't call him out of the baseline, so Henderson had to cover the bag and had to get a flip, and it was a lot closer than we thought as the tag wasn't applied. So they had to get the 3-1 put out instead of just the 1 unassisted, or 3 unassisted. Yeah. Stay with me, people.
There we go. And that was not the most simple play to figure out there in your scorebook. But we go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Martinsburg after another quick inning of work for Grant Henderson. Take a 60-second break. Get back with more West Virginia High School baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Panhandle Printing and Design is your full-service local print shop.
With over 50 years of combined experience, we know how to handle all of your printing and design needs.
We can handle anything, from small business cards to wrapping large vehicles. Our in-house design team can do it all. As a staple of this community, we love helping people promote their events, businesses, and anything they're passionate about. Envision, create, and bring your ideas to life with Panhandle Printing and Design.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com.
Bottom of the second from P.O. Faulkner Park. First pitch of the inning is to Malachi Green inside for ball one from J.P. Sweeney. Still 1-0 Bulldogs over Cardinals in the first game of the regional playoffs. Region 2, Section 1. Martinsburg and Spring Mills. Ball two comes in.
Do we have a section anymore? It's just region,
I guess
isn't
not
it?
technically. Yeah, I guess technically not.
Yeah, considering Jefferson's in this one, so
true. Point there. There's a swing from Malachi Green as he tried to stop from going through the zone unsuccessfully.
I'm just asking because I don't know either. They threw a wrench in the whole thing, didn't they?
And Green's going to hit a well-hit ground ball to second base. Tristan Wysocki is able to make the play for the first out.
Good to see Wysocki out there. The last game here, right going into the playoffs, he ball was thrown up the line on a ground ball that he hit. He dove down to avoid that overthrow and tried to dive to the back, jammed his thumb up there. It didn't look good here from the booth at all. We've seen a few little updates here on social media how he jammed his thumb up, was icing it, and so good to see him out there playing. I don't see anything on that thumb. I'm not sure if it's in the glove or if it's right hand, but either way, he's out there playing and giving it his all here.
Braden Armalt will start his at-bat looking at strike one. Bottom of the second brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Strike two, Armalt looks at on the breaking ball this time.
Nice curveball there. Sweeney has a good looping curveball. Got a good break to it.
Wind up and throw from Sweeney. Check swing, goes through the zone for strike three.
Well, felt like he didn't take a hack at that one, but he was caught out by the umpire on the swing without even an appeal there as he read that curveball down, chased it down, and according to Tim Offit behind the plate, he went around. So again, Tim Offit behind the plate, Matt Heidel on first, and Rick Alderman at second. Jeff King out on third base doing the umpiring.
Bradley Loper, strike one to start off. Lefty stepping in against the right-hander, J.P. Sweeney. This pitch, fastball will be inside. Spring Mills in the blue jerseys here tonight. Red lettering, white trim, gray pants, a white hat, the red brim, and back. Here's strike two to make it 1-2. Martinsburg in the all-whites with the orange numbers.
Last time we seen Looper here at the plate, he gave one a ride.
He sure did.
He was the hero of the last game, I think, of the season there for Martinsburg.
1-2 is going to be foul tipped off the catcher, perhaps off the umpire there too as well.
Yeah, I think it is. They're going to get a courtesy visit here by the catcher. It tells us maybe he got dinged a little bit there. He'll gather himself. Eichelberger will have a talk here over this 1-2 pitch to Bradley Loper with 2 outs. And Eichelberger's asking Tim off. How's he feeling? Gives him a thumbs up. And we'll get back in action here. So.
Yep, play will resume. Loper back in the box. Sweeney winding up and pitching. And fastball will be just under the knees for ball two. R.J. Brown, 9-hitter on deck if Martinsburg can extend the inning. And they'll extend it at least one more pitch as the 2-2 was high to run the count full.
Didn't take Washington long to cut into that 3-0 lead. 3-2 up there as we speak. And they're still hitting here with 1 out in the bottom of the first as Tanner Sharp is on the mound.
Full count. Foul tipped back. I'm sure Hedgesville loves to see that.
Yeah, a single by Sven Dupree, Connor Smith hit by a pitch, RBI single by Edwards, RBI single by Robbie Lopez, and now Landon Brady's at the plate with men on first and second, 1 out, and a 3-2 deficit for Washington.
And the 3-2 here will be inside for ball 4. Gets away from the catcher, but Loper goes to first regardless. So not quite a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sweeney. Same thing happened in the first, where he was able to get the first 2 batters out, and then Martinsburg extended the inning a bit. Let's see if Martinsburg can do what they did in the first and turn that into a run. So R.J. Brown comes up to bat.
R.J. Brown getting hot here at the end of the season. Had a little bit of a struggle there in the middle and got hot here at the right time.
He's going to look at the first pitch high for ball 1. Yeah, R.J. Brown, certainly last few games, has turned up the heat on his bat.
Yeah, he can do it. He's been a great center fielder for Martinsburg, very speedy. Took over for Isaac Grove out there last year, who not much got by him, and took that spot over and batting here in the 9.
R.J. checks his swing, doesn't go around. He gets ahead in the count 2-0.
3-3 now at Washington and Musselman, as Landon Brady has singled, so that 3-run deficit was erased in a third of an inning.
Wow.
Shootout down at Washington.
Swing and a miss on the 2-0 from Brown, so
yeah,
they
good job.
Still in the bottom first over there. So we got 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And that tells you right there that pitching has gone really well here so far.
Yeah, done a great job. I really like that. I like J.P. Sweeney kind of throwing the fastball hard and in, saying hit it if you can, and R.J. Brown sitting on that 2-0 and taking a big hack at it.
Brown is going to check his swing, but it hits off the bat, ball for strike 2. Evens the count to 2 apiece.
The umpire's going to want that ball. See how scuffed up it is from the bricks. Didn't want Sweeney to get any extra grip on that thing.
And they'll throw that one over to the dugout of Martinsburg.
That would mess with the Vaseline he's been putting on it.
Brown steps back in, 2-2 count. Loper, short lead off of first. And the pitch. It's another check swing that will be foul again, a lot closer this time as Ryland Swartz runs over to it. As it goes just barely down the line.
Yeah, RJ didn't know if he wanted to take a hack at that one or not. Got the bat out there and couldn't pull it back. A little fastball on the outer half, it looked like, I believe. And
the third check swing of the at-bat. He'll step back in now for another 2-2 pitch. Sweeney kicks and delivers. And it'll be a breaking ball that breaks too far outside. It'll be another 3-2 count.
Washington up 4-3. As Marshall Derrick now has got an RBI single and still 1 out, men on first and second, as Tanner Sharp and Sven Dupree haven't figured out how to get the opposing batters out at this point, as those 2 teams have come out hacking.
Time called at the plate by Brown. Now he'll settle back into the box. Quick pickoff attempt by Sweeney.
But similar to here, it's the same. If you listen to them earlier, it's not a death. It's not a nail in the coffin if you lose there with all the pitching that both those teams still have. You just don't want to throw a lot of pitching today.
Runner goes. Strike 3 on the hit and run attempt on the payoff pitch. R.J. Brown goes down, leaves a runner on, and we've seen 16 batters so far through 2 full innings for both sides, and only 1 has a hit. And Martinsburg has gotten 1 run out of it. They still lead 1-0 as we go to the third after the 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
In the market for a new vehicle? Then look no further than CMA's Toyota of Martinsburg and CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg, all in one convenient location. We have hundreds of new and used vehicles available, so you'll be sure to find exactly what you're looking for. And with CMA's Love It or Leave It promise and our lifetime powertrain warranty, you can buy with confidence. Visit us online at CMA's Toyota of Martinsburg.com and CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
After a car accident, call the local law firm that can give you the help you need right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti, the one with 115 years of combined experience fighting for West Virginia accident victims. Get more with Manchin Ferretti.
The one that takes on the big insurance companies.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. We're Manchin Ferretti.
After a car accident, we'll fight for every dollar you deserve. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. So call right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Third inning from P.O. Faulkner Park. Top of the inning brought to you by WV Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading health care here and everywhere. Grant Henderson goes back to the mound, still with the 1-0 lead, as Spring Mills will bring up 8, 9, and 1 in the order, starting with second baseman Tristan Wysocki.
2 innings complete. Henderson 24 pitches, 16 for strikes, 41 pitches for Sweeney, 21 for strikes.
Henderson will start the third with a ball low and away.
Get a chance to see Wysocki here. He does seem to have a little bit of a, well, he's got a batting glove on that hand there, so you can't really tell. Looks like he's no worse for the wear after getting dinged up here the last time.
Henderson, the 1-0 runs in. Wysocki has to lean out of the way a bit, 2-0.
You don't want to wear that one up there on the chin. Not 86, 87 coming at your face.
Henderson working fast will get the 2-0 across for strike one.
Yeah, if you're at home and you're a young player or a coach and you're watching Henderson, when they throw the ball to the catcher, watch Henderson start backing. You know, when he pitches, now watch, he'll back up the mound and
Strike
receive
two.
the ball. Strike two right there, ready to go. That's how you get control of the game. That's how you get the flow of the game. That's how the game has flow. And when you're throwing, you want to be quick.
2-2, softly fouled over to the right field side, off the end of the bat.
Yeah, if you're watching him, when he receives that ball, he steps right to the mound. And you know, if you have a strike and you're throwing strikes and you've got those batters on their heels, you don't want to give them time. You don't want to extend that bat. You want to move quickly as offense. You know, you want the game to speed up there if you're the pitcher.
Another 2-2 from Henderson. Swing and strike three. That's 2 strikeouts for Henderson. Through 8 batters faced.
For the Cardinals, number 3, center fielder,
Brings up Keelan Curry.
Curry, the center fielder?
Yep. Bottom of the order. Try to flip it over to Anders with less than 2 outs, but starting with swinging and missing at strike one.
That one just by him. Fastball up.
And here's another one that Curry can't catch up to. Swings at strike two.
Same pitch. See how quickly he's ready to go, don't you? He get you down 0-2. He wants to keep on beating on you.
And he'll go with another fastball, but it'll come in just a bit low for ball one.
Shaking off the call this time. He's got a pitch in mind. He wants this 1-2 pitch to Curry, the number 9 hitter for Spring Mills. And it's not the one he wanted.
Fastball runs in, hits him. Curry will get on base here with 1 out.
Yeah. And that's certainly not what Grant wanted, nor the coaching staff there with 2 outs, with an out to put the speedy Curry on base. And then face the top of the order. You know, nothing makes you matter if you're a pitcher at yourself or you're a pitching coach when you're an 0-2, 1-2, and you hit the batter and give them a free base there, on one pitch. Lets them off the hook, and it just kind of resets things. So now instead of strikeout or a weak contact out and 2 outs, you got a man on first and 1 out. And not just a man, but a speedy runner there in the 9 as he's going first pitch.
Yep, and he goes. Here's a throw down from Fox, and some bounces off of Christian Alter and into left field. So Curry's going to get third base.
Yeah, nobody really covered the bag, as we're going to see Alter and Jameer talk about the covering here. They were just both going. It almost looked like that Fox was trying to hit the receiver on the run there, and the guy down caught Christian Alter in the leg coming to cover, and that ricocheted out in the left field. Curry realized what was going on, finally got up and seen where the ball was, took off for third, and got there easily. So that 1-2 count has turned into a man on third with one out.
That means they don't even necessarily need to get their first hit of the game here from Bryce Sanders to be able to get that run up on the board. And this one might fall in anyway, though, and it does. In the shallow right center field, Curry will score, and Bryce Sanders has an RBI single to tie us at 1.
So that was kind of a dying soft single there out in the, but as part what happened is Martinsburg brought the defense up. Once Curry got to third base, they had to bring the infield up, which brought Alter way up to the grass, and that's it. If he's in regular position, can he make that play? Possibly. And but regardless, a couple unfortunate things here for Martinsburg, and Spring Mills has taken advantage of it.
Number 17, J.P. Sweeney.
So Anders on first, and he's going to be running immediately. I think they can run on Fox, and it's another throw just about in the same area off target to the right. So it's another easy stolen base for Spring Mills.
Yeah, first pitch right out of the gate there, and we still haven't really found anybody covering the bag there. So Alter, who's kind of forced up there at second base when Grant and Jameer pitch a lot of times.
The 1-0 will get across for strike one. Look back at second base at Anders with the 1-1 count in the 1-1 game, and this is going to be hit on a line in the right field, but it's at Malachi Green. And Anders won't tag up, forces a throw in, but it'll be reeled in by Zarnecki. Keep a runner at bay with 2 outs now. Henderson through 2 2/3 has given up 1 walk and 1 hit, but 1 run to go with it with his 2 strikeouts.
Schwartz here, the 3 batter. Grounded out the short last time.
Schwartz will take strike 1. Breaking ball on the outside part of the plate.
Seen Anders' speed when he stole second, so with 2 outs and the ball and a base hit, he's going to be scoring.
And this pitch is outside, not able to get Schwartz to chase. Schwartz in line to be the starting quarterback for Spring Mills football this upcoming fall, barring any transfers that we don't know about that could challenge him. He was back up last year to Max Anderson as he fouls off this pitch for strike 2. Showed some promise on the football field. That limited action.
They've got a great football program down there. I'm thinking about using my last year of eligibility and trying out. I got 1 left in me. Graduated early. Had plenty of credits. I was pretty smart.
What do we got? Quarterback, wide receiver?
I was thinking about quarterback. Ground ball down to first. I don't want to run. I'm going to drop back.
You'd be like Colin. You can be a kicker. Then you definitely don't have to run.
There you go. Good job there by Rylan Schwartz fighting off that curveball there. Staying alive. Henderson's found himself there. Was cruising. Come up and in on Curry. Then the wheels fell off on the stolen base. And
the next pitch is grounded over to second base. Alter gets it in and throws it to first for the 3rd out. But Spring Mills was able to even things up. A hit by pitch and a errant throw down on a stolen base attempt ends up coming back to haunt Martinsburg. RBI single for Bryce Anders ties us up as we go to the bottom of the 3rd after the 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Well, look at you, Robbie. Cleaning the pool already? Oh, it's time for Floor Pool's spring startup sale. And since you're one smart duck, you know a deal when you see it. Now through May 31st, stock up and save on all the chemicals and other products you'll need for your pool opening and swimming needs. Are you kidding me? Robbie says pools start as low as $100 a month with easy financing. Head into Floor Pools and get swimming sooner than you think. Get out of here. Floor Pools has hot tubs starting at $49 a month. Oh, and don't forget cold plunge plunges starting at $79 a month. Robbie swears by them. So, whether you're swimming laps, soaking after work, or just dipping your toes in, it's not just about cooling off. It's about feeling better. Water helps reduce stress, relax muscles, improve sleep, and boost your mood. Be like Robbie. Fly in and talk to the water wellness experts during the spring startup sale and save money. Make this your best pool season yet with floor pools in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, and Martinsburg.
The bottom of our third inning is brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance. Reliable coverage since 1877. Call 304-263-0809 for a quote today or visit fmiwv.com. Spring Mills in the top of the inning, able to tie things up at 1 apiece. Getting J.P. Sweeney a little bit of extra comfort there he can work with as he will go back onto the mound to face the top of the order.
Washington's back at it here in the bottom of the second after shutting down Musselman in the top of the second. The bottom of the second, Trace Huff ended up on third base after an error. Musselman left fielder was a leadoff. He got to third on a leadoff triple by error, so it was an error. And then the next batter, Sven Dupree, gets an RBI single to take Washington to a 5-3 lead as the first pitch to Jameer comes up in for 1-0.
So far, both pitchers have given up just one hit, but have also given up a run. And they've each put guy on first base twice. 2 traditional walks from Sweeney and one the hard way to go with 1 4-ball at bat from Henderson. So the next pitch is fouled off. That last foul ball making sure Kyler High is awake back here behind home plate. This is a softly hit ground ball that is going to be run up on by J.P. Sweeney and thrown to first and send down Jameer Brown.
Yeah, he got that right off the end of the bat. Sweeney threw an off-speed pitch. Jameer on his front foot. Kind of caught it off the end of the bat there. Cued it out towards the pitcher's mound. A great play, athletic play there by Sweeney to pick it up and throw out the speedy Jameer Brown.
That'll bring up Zarnecki, who flew out the right field, just like Jameer Brown did on his first at-bat. First pitch is going to bounce in front of home plate, off the turf.
Yeah, he got Eichelberger up in the thigh, not in the pad. He blocked it with a bare leg there, so he's going to walk out and
say that one sounded a little different.
Rub it off.
Ran into him.
So just like Coach Ballard talks about the free base game. I mean, right now you got 4 free bases on both sides. 5 on both sides. So you got 5, either by error, stolen base, or walks, and there's 5 on Spring Mills, 5 for Martinsburg. So that equals the 1-1 score. Everything's tied.
Yep, Zarnecki will take second pitch for a ball. Dylan Bishop and Trip Tobin with you on the call. John Alderton, our on-site producer. Kyler High, Alec Epperson, Nick Ferzolini behind the cameras, and Colin McLaughlin back to the studio. 2-0. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Next pitch from Sweeney is going to be hit, but up over the press box for strike 2.
Both runs are results of back-to-back free bases where you have the walk, and then you have the stolen bases, or an error, get those guys in scoring position.
And strike 3 taken by Zarnecki. Don't see that often, but Sweeney gets the call for his third strikeout, and Martinsburg has 2 down in the inning.
It was a 50-50 pitch there on the outer half. Could have went either way. Zarnecki certainly wanted the ball off the plate, and Sweeney wanted the strike 3 call, and Tim Offit agrees with Sweeney and grants the wish there for strike 3.
First pitch into Alter, breaking ball, catches the zone according to the home plate umpire for strike 1.
Alter with Martinsburg's lone hit.
This breaking ball is outside for ball 1.
Alter made a few tweaks to his swing here over the weekend. And got down there, a little videotape, got in the cage, looked at a few things, and feels like he's seeing it and hitting it a little better here.
1-1. He gets this one into play, but it's high into medium center field, let's call it. And It's caught by Keelan Curry for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down inning for Sweeney, getting him back on track after giving up a run in the first and giving up a walk in the second. We'll go to the 4th now. 1-1, Martinsburg and Spring Mills here in the first day of the regional playoffs. West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
So what? So what? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. We're going to have to work at it every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want you and me forever, every day. What do you want? What do you want? Come on, what do you want?
What do you want?
I want Panhandle dumpsters for the first month free.
Use the promo code to get the first month free.
The future doesn't wait. Why should you? Blue Ridge Community and Technical College offers over 60 degree and certificate programs in education, IT, culinary arts, engineering, and so much more. Small class sizes, flexible schedules with evening and online classes, affordable tuition, plus financial aid is available to those who qualify. Now you can go to college. Visit us online at blueridgectc.edu. That's blueridgectc.edu. Stop waiting and enroll today.
Top of the 4th inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Still 1-1 here at P.O. Faulkner Park. 1 run by Martinsburg in the bottom of the first, and Spring Mills nodded us back up in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, expected to see, these two teams grind it out a little bit, trying to manufacture some runs, which they did. Took advantage of the mistakes on each side, and it's going to come down, this game is a game of failure. It's going to come down to whoever fails the least is going to be the winner of this baseball game.
And Aiden Eichelberger will swing at the first pitch and hit it out of play. Seems like we're starting to get at least a little bit of a sprinkle over here, as strike 2 will come in.
Eichelberger, the catcher, took a one hopper there off the thigh earlier.
Anderson, 0-2, low and away. Makes it 1-2. Eichelberger drew a walk first at bat. He was the first base runner for Spring Mills. Henderson winds and gets the swing and strikeout for his 3rd K.
Curveball kind of up. Started there at the letters of Eichelberger. Couldn't stay off of it there as it broke away from the bat.
Number 7, Jake Anderson.
Jake Anderson grounded out over to Loper at first. Fielder's choice with the runner going to second. There in the top of the 2nd, he's going to hit the first pitch on the ground over to Christian Alter, who can easily throw the first for out number 2. So quick work once again from Henderson.
Yep, just what the doctor ordered there for Grant as he, that last inning, threw a few pitches, a few extra. They, got Keelan Curry on, got him around, got him in. So looking for a quick inning is what he's looking for this inning.
And here's strike 1 to Landon Stanley. He grounded over to Grant Henderson. He's going to ground this one over to Bradley Loper, who will step on first. And that will end the inning as Grant Henderson makes it through 4 full innings in just 52 pitches. And we'll stay tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th out of the 60-second break. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
May is National Stroke Awareness Month, and WV Medicine would like to remind you it's important to recognize the signs and symptoms and be fast in seeking medical attention. B, balance loss. E, eyesight changes. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty, and T, time to call 911. Immediate treatment can decrease the risk of disability and prevent death. This important message is brought to you by WVU Medicine.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Martinsburg up the bat in his tie game 1-1 in the bottom of the fourth, which is brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. It'll be Nick Domenico leading things off in this inning for Martinsburg. Sweeney gets Domenico to take a big swing.
Yeah, big cut there by Domenico. He wanted that one. Sitting on an 0-0 fastball. Ball kind of ran away from him a little bit.
Mentioned that Grant Henderson, as this pitch comes in low and inside for ball one, was at 52 pitches through 4 innings, and J.P. Sweeney starts the inning at 52 pitches.
Yeah, Sweeney's ball strike to ball, in the total pitches to strike ratio. He's not been around the zone as much as I'm sure he'd like, which causes pitch count to get up there early in the first 3 innings, but hasn't.
There's a pop-up. It'll be in the infield. It'll be the third baseman that calls everyone off. Landon Stanley makes the play for the first out.
Yeah, even though his as that ball went up here, even though he's, his pitch count elevated there a little bit there, with a couple long counts and 2 walks there. He's limited the damage, certainly, and gotten Martinsburg out when he had to, and has done a great job out there giving his team a chance to win. Not only to win, but, to set themselves up to, have a lot of pitching, later in the tournament, should they advance here tonight.
Grant Henderson takes the first pitch for ball one. These 2 pitchers are just about even, other than pitch count. Henderson, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. As he takes the next pitch for ball 2. Sweeney, 3 1/3, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Now, technically, Grant Henderson also has that hit by pitch in there, if you want to call that a second walk, so then they'd be pretty much exactly even. And here's strike 2. Or, excuse me, strike 1 on the 3-0.
Quick inning here will set Eichelberger right back with him if he can keep from seeing too many batters.
Henderson on the ground. Over to Stanley again. He's going to make the play. And coming off the bag to make the catch and then tagging Henderson is the first baseman, Rylan Swartz, for the second out.
Nice job there by Swartz. Seeing the throw up the line, going ahead and getting it. Using that big body of his there to make the tag. 2 outs. As umpire Tim Offit, if you can't see on camera, he's telling the Spring Mills dugout they need to get in the dugout or get at least off the turf and into the concrete there.
Malachi Green will step in. He's going to take a big swing at the first pitch, but nothing doing. Green grounded out to second base his first time around at the bottom of the second. 0-1 from Sweeney, high and outside.
Malachi last time ground out to second base. This time he's going to hit it right at him.
Yep, it's a liner to second base this time. No throw needed this time for Wysocki. He'll just make the catch and jog to the dugout for the third out. Still 1-1. We'll go to the 5th inning now. After this 60-second break between Martinsburg and Spring Mills, this is West Virginia High School playoff baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti.
If you've been injured in a car accident, there are 3 things you need to know.
1, do not discuss your accident with an insurance company before you talk to a lawyer.
2, on average, car accident victims with a lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one.
And 3, at Mansion Ferretti, if we don't win, you don't pay us, guaranteed. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Pitcher's duel here at P.O. Faulkner Park as we go to the top of the 5th. And it's 1-1, Spring Mills versus Martinsburg. Both pitchers have only allowed 1 hit each. The base runners have been hard to come by as well. Only 2 walks between the 2 pitchers. 2 walks each. And now Spring Mills will come up here with the bottom of the order, 7-8-9.
Number 9,
which last time was a ground out, a strikeout, and then a hit by pitch between the end of the 2nd and the beginning of the 3rd.
Up at Musselman, or excuse me, at Washington. At Washington, Washington has taken a 7-3 lead, scored 7 unanswered since that 3-run top of the 1st inning by by Musselman. So 7-3 there, and they have removed Tanner Sharp for Woolham in the 2nd inning. Woolham come in. He give up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 strikeout.
Started this inning here against Landon Trumpower. It's a ball low and inside, and then a strike coming back to even it up for Grant Henderson. And now working fast as he does, 1-1. It's going to be hit softly into right field and into no man's land. He hits them where they ain't for a leadoff single. Again, just the 2nd hit there for Spring Mills.
Yeah, just found a spot where nobody was playing. Twice, 2 of the hits now that both of Spring Mills' hits have been just what Grant Henderson's mother Marla, she would call them poppies. Likes to pitch to poppies and weak grounders. And that was a poppy that found its way in.
Here's Wysocki trying to bunt, and it'll go foul.
It's kind of a bunt and run there. Yeah, good play. Spring Mills are going to put a little pressure. They did have some success last game against Martinsburg, running the bases and bunting, so they put that in their playbook. Grant Henderson on the mound. Runners have taken off on the first pitch the last 3 times that they've had a runner on. This time, going to throw over, of course. Does that for a couple different reasons. Wants to see if Wysocki's going to turn, and also just to keep the runner Trumpower there from breaking early. But trying to see if Wysocki would show his hand.
Well, once again, Zarnecki was starting over even with the bag, and
ball went foul.
Loper grabs it as it goes down the first base line, but they'll say, yeah, it was foul.
Yeah, it just went foul.
That'll make it 0-2.
Home plate umpire said foul. Loper had the out there. Should have had stayed fair, but now you got an 0-2 count. And getting signed over here by Coach Bradley Barrett. See what see if Spring Mills is going to take off here. They've been 2 for 2, I think, with stolen bases, or
yep.
3 for 3, 2 for 2.
2 for 2, yeah. And here's the pickoff attempt. Seeing that maybe coming, and Trumpower is able to get back.
Martinsburg had thrown the ball away a couple times over there on pickoffs this year, so got to be careful. Don't want to have Trumpower over on third if you're Martinsburg.
The 0-2. Runner does not go. It'll be ball 1 high and inside.
Slows the game down. Base runner slowing the game down a little bit here. As we'd like to know, Henderson likes to work quick, but base runners on. He has to keep an eye on those guys. Can't lose focus of the base runners.
1-2. Strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Fastball just caught him off guard.
Yeah, fastball had a little zip on it there on the outer half, and not much Wysocki could do there. He's not happy with himself, probably for a couple of different reasons. Didn't get the bunt down, and then take strike 3. So something that when you get to this point of the season, you have to execute the bunt and get the ball in play with the man on first. But I'm sure he'll rebound there and go in there and kick himself a little bit and come back and put that behind him. As Curry stands to the plate here, scored Spring Mills' first or only run after being hit by a pitch. Stole second, moved to third on the air, then moved in on the pop fly, came in on the pop fly.
Curry calls time. Henderson's already made one pickoff attempt before starting this at bat. Here's another bunt attempt. Curry is going to just clip it, and it'll go to the backstop.
Yep, the third bunt attempt here by Spring Mills is inning, unsuccessful. Again, you heard Coach Barrett on the interview talking about executing. We executed. We put the ball in play. We executed. At this point, he'll be upset they didn't execute there. The runner goes. Nobody
Curry
covering
pulls
again.
Back the bunt, and Alter late getting over. There was a better throw this time from Fox compared to the last two, but no one there to even catch it and make the tag attempt.
Well, as Curry squares a bunt, Brown has to cover third, which forces which should have pushed Alter quickly to second, but he plays such a deep second base. So we get a timeout here a little bit as the umpires communicate.
We've talked about it before that Alter's natural outfielder.
He's just a natural baseball player.
That's fair. But
yeah, he definitely is.
Played more outfield.
His strength is out there. Strength's up here at the plate where he hits, and he plays outfield. But he's a really tremendous baseball player and hitter, and kind of filling in at second base, we can say, platooning, right?
Yeah. 2-1 count. Henderson. Curry pulls back the bunt, but it's strike 2.
Yeah, right down the middle, and he pulls it back. Guess he thought it was up, maybe. So some bunch of attempts here that aren't getting down. And 2-2, 2 outs. 2s across the board here. Deuce is wild. See Curry to the plate. Comes the pitch.
And, I thought that was strike 3, but they don't get the call on the outside corner. Runs the count full.
Yeah, it was a 50-50. Yeah, maybe it was 60-40. Maybe 60-40. We're going to stay off the umpires tonight because they're his nose is right down on top of it. But yeah, it was a pitch that could have went either way.
In the end, it's 100% ball 3.
Yeah, nobody to appeal it to. They won't ask me for an appeal.
Full count. Here's the pitch. Got him to swing through it. Fastball high. Curry couldn't get a hold of it.
So excuse me, I messed up there earlier. I thought it was 2 outs. He had 2 and 1 out. So big strikeout there. When you no outs, 1 out, striking out. A lot of things that can happen to move the runner over, fly balls, ground balls behind you, things like that. Striking out is big for a pitcher with a man on second. No outs, 1 out keeps that runner there, and keeps him from scoring in case there's a pass ball as that first one comes in. But keeping him at second, changes things a lot there.
1-0 count to start out to Anders, who looped one into right center field last time up and scored Spring Mills' only run. Has a chance to do something similar here as the 1-0 comes in outside of the zone.
Yeah, that run was kind of manufactured after the error when Keelan Curry stole second up at third, which drew the defense in, which forced the second baseman Alter way in, who's usually a great outfielder. Didn't give him a chance at all at that pop fly that got in behind him.
And here's the strike 1 on the 2-0 pitch.
This game's moving quickly into the, into the bottom of the 5th here, as we're just a strikeout. We're a couple pitches away, possibly from being into the 5th. As this game is moving along.
2-1. Anders is going to put this one in the air. R.J. Brown got to run in for it, and he's going to dive and make the catch.
He didn't get a good read at first, so he gave us a kind of held up. Maybe I think he was just doing it on purpose, but I don't think he's seen it. But certainly that ball, he stopped and looked for it. He found it and took off, and he made a heck of a play there, saved a run for Martinsburg.
He keeps this one tied. Otherwise, Spring Mills would have for sure gotten in that go-ahead run. But we'll go to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1. after a 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Top of the fifth inning was brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships. Proud to be the owners who just care more. And we'll move to the bottom of the fifth. Brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. We're still at 1-1 in the fifth inning.
But don't call Tripp right now.
That's true. He's a little busy.
He's busy. Working. So I tell everybody, I'm always busy. I'm working.
Call Colin instead, right?
Call Colin.
If you want your Mother Chuckers dinners.
Yeah, we
or
got to figure out a trivia question for Colin tonight.
Bulldogs, number 8.
Yeah, everybody was a collective sigh last inning when that ball went up, and R.J. Brown at first looked like he didn't quite see it, and looked like that tie ball game was going to be in a deficit, and all of a sudden
Bradley Loper on deck as this is swung through for strike 2. Bradley Loper was the last base runner for Martinsburg. 8 in a row retired so far by Sweeney.
Yeah, Sweeney's really settled in after that. First 2 innings looked like he was, off the plate a good bit there. Got his pitch count up, and there's another pitch off the plate. He didn't like the execution of that pitch. It wasn't very competitive. I think he wanted it to be a more competitive pitch there and try to get Armolt to chase. Got to watch Armolt here. Sneaky power. Got a home run this year.
And this is another strikeout. Fourth one for Sweeney, second one for Armolt today, and make that another batter retired for Sweeney. That actually being the 8th in a row.
9, Bradley Loper.
This would be 9 if Loper can't get on base like he did last time. Loper in the bottom of the second got on base with that walk, and that was the last base runner for Martinsburg. Martinsburg's only 3 base runners were that walk, a walk from Domenico in the first inning, and an alter with a base hit right before him.
And actually, you have to give Grant, he got on base, but then the back pick by Domenico, but it was on an error, but it ended the inning on the back pick, so he never really got to, be there very long. But that's what got Martinsburg their run there, was the error there in the middle.
And here's the swing through on the 1-0 pitch for strike 1. We got Bradley Butts warming up in the Spring Mills bullpen.
And Cumley loosened up in his leg, so they have their closers ready if they find the way to get a run across the board on top of the 6th or 7th. That's one thing about Spring Mills. They do have, a few closers over there they've used very well this year, and we've seen Cumley come in that 8-2 victory and get 3 strikeouts in a row. So, should Spring Mills find a way to push a run across and get ahead in this game here in the next 2 innings, they do have guys that can shut the game down and get the save.
2-1 on the inside corner for strike 2.
Martinsburg may be opting just to go ahead and run Grant out there, win or lose. They certainly expect to win, but not use anyone else.
Loper's going to give this one a ride. It's deep into right field, and this one is off the wall, just past the glove of Trumpower. Loper is going to get himself on base, the 1-out double.
Yeah, that ball was just inches away from being breaking those ties. He give that thing a ride. Trumpower kept going back, left the bat. It didn't seem to have, home run exit velo, but it carried. Shows the power of Bradley Loper there as he found the wall out there, bounced off the wall, bounced away from Trumpower, and Loper comes into second base standing with another big fly for Bradley Loper as he heats up here at the end of the season. Going to get a pinch runner. Actually, we're going to get a pinch runner in Tomlinson. Martinsburg looking for a little more speed out there with one out. Good call there. And a great job by Loper staying with that pitch and driving it out there in the right field.
Loper, 12th on the team in average, but 8th in slugging percentage. When he gets a hold of the ball, it goes a long way.
Yeah, he's got that kind of power.
So R.J. Brown will get a chance here with one out, and a runner in scoring position. We get a pinch runner for Loper.
Loper's average kind of took a beating there when he hit that little cold spell. And kind of got, and these high school kids, they get in their head so quick and feel like they try to change things, do things instead of just staying with themselves when things don't quite go their way. But they'll mature out of that and understand that not necessarily is it something I'm doing wrong. It's just good pitching and or good defense or just can't get the ball to fall. But season goes quick for these guys, and a couple hitless games can drive that average down pretty quick. But Loper's hitting the ball well right now as Sweeney wants to talk to Eichelberger with a runner on second, making sure they aren't tipping pitches. And the hero of the last inning, R.J. Brown, up to the plate.
The throw back at second base before coming to the plate at the new pinch runner, Carson Tomlinson. R.J. Brown can flip it over to the top of the order as long as I don't get a double play on this one. He's going to lay down a bunt. Sweeney's going to come up for it. Looks over to third. Now he'll throw to first. Swartz almost came off of the bag. He may have even come off of it and then gotten his foot back on. But regardless, they get the out at first.
Yeah, nice job by Swartz there. That ball hard. You have to see where he caught it. It was, it crosses the runner. So it's not like he wants the ball inside, and the ball ends up outside. It crosses up the runner. What happened was. When it bunted back to Sweeney, he took a look at third, and then he realized how quick RJ was moving. He just kind of threw a snap throw across, ran a little wide, but that's why you have a big first baseman over there like Swartz. So great job there by Swartz. Twice now we've seen him use his athleticism and body size to get Martinsburg runners out. But the sacrifice worked well. Even though it was 2 outs, Martinsburg opted to go for sort of a bunt for a base hit or sacrifice and give it to put it in the hands of one of their best hitters, Jameer Brown. And we haven't seen a lot of balls come to the backstop tonight. It's been really clean. Both pitchers have been, no wild pitches. Both catchers not allowed to pass balls. So, not to jinx anybody, but it's been pretty clean in that part of it. Martinsburg's got their runner 90 feet closer to breaking this tie.
Sweeney at 73 pitches, and number 74 will break outside for a ball. Martinsburg go-ahead run at third base in the bottom of the 5th. Game tied at 1. First day of the regional playoffs, and Brown is going to hit this one just past the glove on the ground of the shortstop, Bryce Anders. And Tomlinson will score, and Martinsburg will take the lead.
Yeah, big double by Loper, then the sacrifice from Brown, and then the single by Brown. So the Brown-Brown connection brings in the run here with the sacrifice and the RBI single after Loper hit the big fly. Gives them Martinsburg a 1-run lead, and they've got their one of their best pitchers there on the mound, so have to be feeling pretty good about that. Shuts down those guys out in the bullpen.
Sweeney will throw over to first at Brown. That brings up Silas Zarnecki 0 for 2 so far. But Jameer Brown was 0 for 2 before that at bat as well. They set up outside. It's a pitch out, expecting the run down, and he was going, and they get him.
Yep, pitch out. Seen him.
So the pitch out, caught stealing successfully there for Spring Mills is going to send us to the 6th inning, but Martinsburg gets the go-ahead run up on the board and leads 2-0. Grant Henderson needs 6 more outs to get Martinsburg the win here in Game 1 of the regional playoffs. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 back in 60.
Tomorrow's success begins with today's preparation. Give your child a pathway to flourish and thrive with a well-rounded education. Enrollment is now open at the Classical Christian Academy in Martinsburg. Visit tcca.life/information. Tomorrow's success begins with today's preparation. Give your child a pathway to flourish and thrive with a well-rounded education. Enrollment is now open at the Classical Christian Academy in Martinsburg. Visit tcca.life/information.
Did you know that anybody can have lunch at Berkeley Senior Center? Hello, this is Amy Orndorff, Executive Director at Berkeley Senior Services. We serve a healthy, nutritious, and delicious lunch 5 days a week at 217 North High Street in Martinsburg. For seniors age 60 and up, the charge is by donation only, and for those under 60, it's just $7.25. And while you're here for lunch, take a look at all of our great programs and activities. Find out more, including our daily menu, at berkeleyseniorservices.org or by calling 263-8873. We look forward to serving you.
Top of the 6th inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 is brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at ParsonsFord.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Grant Henderson now has a lead to work with 6 outs to go. For him to put Martinsburg through into the winner's side of this double elimination tournament bracket. Grant 69 pitches. And here's number 70 for strike one to start this inning to J.P. Sweeney. He's getting just 2 hits, a walk, and a hit by pitch. 5 strikeouts, 1 run. Unearned in the scorebook. And this is a grounder on the next pitch. Sweeney and Brown with a short throw that can't be picked at first by Loper. So, tying run on base right away.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Loper's patting on his chest, saying that's on me. Didn't quite get out there enough to catch it. It wasn't a terrible throw by any means. It didn't bounce way out front. Maybe I see Jameer's kind of patting him on the chest. So both of them are taking credit for the ball getting away. But either way, we got J.P. Sweeney on first. I think they got Bradley Butts in there running now. They've been running, stealing bases, not really having to sacrifice. So if they can steal him over, that would give them 3 outs to try to get him in and tie this ball game up.
Goes down as an E6 in the scorebook as Swartz tries to take a stab at this one for strike one on the bunt attempt.
Big spot in the game here is they turn their number 3 batter around to bunt, so they're opting to.
The pickoff attempt gets away. A trip, you were mentioning that earlier, that's happened to Martinsburg a few times this year, and that will, without any sort of sacrifice, get Sweeney over to second.
Yeah, back-to-back errors now has gotten Martinsburg in a situation where Spring Mills can capitalize and tie this game up. So without a hit or a walk, Spring Mills has a man on second base, and it's a pinch runner who with some speed and some of their top hitters to the plate.
Excuse me, yes, the pinch runner as Swartz will pull back the bunt this time, ball 1.
So they're also, like Martinsburg, opting to go ahead and try to get Butts over to third with 1 out, and then hope for next 2 batters to figure out a way to get him in.
1-1. Swartz gets the bunt, gets the bat on the ball for the bunt, but it goes over towards the Martinsburg dugout.
Good pitch selection there by Henderson to throw a curveball that starts at him in a way, into the zone, forcing him to kind of bail a little bit there. A tough pitch to bunt. So 1-2 count here. Henderson looking for a big strikeout. Swartz looking to get the ball to the green and give his team a tie.
This pitch fouled away, stays 1-2.
12-3 now at Washington, as Washington has turned that game on his end, on his top there, starting off down 3-0, has now scored 12 runs to make it 12-3.
Swartz gets this one into play. Sarnecki getting the runner into a rundown. And throw to Jameer Brown, over, and tag is just barely made. by Zarnecki.
He's already called Bradley Butts out. And now we've got controversy at
Rylan Swartz. So they're going to call the Butts out, going from second to third, and Swartz was able to make his way all the way to second base.
He had called him out, I thought, on the way back already.
Yes.
Regardless, Swartz had ran up to second anyway, like he should have, because you have to think that maybe Butts is already out. But great play there by Zarnecki as Butts just kept sneaking and sneaking. He was going to go to third and be on third with one out. And but Martinsburg is now going to come out and say, hey, if he wasn't out on the tag, then we have 2 men on first base. On second base, and he walked off.
I believe that the second base umpire made the call on the tag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot going on there, so it was kind of chaotic. So
it seems like Coach Byler's gotten the confirmation.
I think he's going to get Jeff King involved. I believe he's the crew chief here for them, and he's going to ask once he got there. So we're going to have to. I think we have an umpire up here. Maybe he can explain to us what he's trying to say. So we got the. So at the moment we've got Ryan Swartz out there at second base. We've got Ryan Swartz safe at second, who moved up. Ground ball went to third. Zarnecki caught Bradley Butts leaning. Went to Christian Alter at second. They got him in the rundown. Eventually, either tug him out going back to second as Swartz went into second, or tug him out as both of them were standing on second. Regardless, Butts is out, and instead of no outs, a man on second or third, we've got one out, a man on second after that whole ordeal there, with Martinsburg still clinging to that 2-1 lead here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Zarnecki had actually gotten that tag or if he had missed the attempt, as Eichelberger will take strike one. So I was looking at the second base umpire immediately, and right after the tag, he made the call. So Swartz can take second base just fine. And here's a pop-up from Eichelberger. Martinsburg needed this one. Alter makes the catch for the second out.
Yeah, ground balls and weak poppies. Ground balls and weak poppies is what Mom's asking for out of Henderson, and he's getting it at the moment. Is big spot in the game here now for Jake Anderson, coming up the freshman, big young man at DH with an opportunity to tie this game up for
number 7, Jake
Spring Mills.
Anderson.
And now you got 2 outs, a man on second, but Swartz of course has speed. We see it on the football field, but I'm not sure if he's as speedy as Butts was. So Martinsburg was okay with that, switching those 2 guys out, I believe.
And fastball clips off the glove of Fox, so Spring Mills still able to get Swartz over to third.
Yeah, that's a pass ball there. He just either crossed him up. He's going to be brought down as a pass ball. Unfortunately, we don't know if he got crossed up and had to reach back across. But regardless, now anything can happen as Martinsburg stays back, of course, with 2 outs. Defense stays back, hoping to get Anderson to fly out, strike out, or what have you, as Spring Mills is looking for big things out of their DH here to tie this ball game up.
Foul ball on the 1-0. So far, Anderson's 2 at-bats have ended in groundouts. One to Loper over at first, one to Alter over at second. And this 1-1 just outside makes it 2-1.
Got Landon Stanley on deck. He just grounded out to the first baseman twice. Certainly don't want to put the go-ahead run on, but you got to be careful here too with the man on third.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2.
Big curve, big fastball in on the hands of him. Huge pitch right here in the game. 2 outs, man on third, and Martinsburg clinging to a 1-run lead as Grant Henderson comes up, worked calmly and confidently to the plate.
This will be hit in the air. Looks like it's perhaps in fair territory. Zarnecki can't make the play, and it was in fair territory. Swartz scores, and we're tied.
Yeah, that was a tough play there. I thought maybe Brown was going to take it. Looked like Zarnecki, when this field out here, as beautiful as it is, there's a little drop-off there at behind third, and Zarnecki kind of went back there, lost his footing a little bit, and couldn't find it, and the error is going to allow the run to score. 2 outs. Looking as the coach is looking for maybe a runner for the DH, but no, they're going to stay with Anderson.
It'll be Landon Stanley.
Big cut by Stanley.
Yeah, and a miss there for an 0-2 start.
I don't think that either run now for Spring Mills is earned.
You're correct. 1-1 is our count now after the next pitch.
Henderson got the pop-up that he needed. Just unfortunate that Zarnicki lost his footing over there.
Henderson's 1-1. Just on the outside half for strike 2.
2 strikes here.
Henderson at 85 pitches now, going on 86 after that last one. Now 87 is just outside for ball 2.
He thought he had that one himself, but it was a little off.
Henderson, his current stat line, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 walk, 2 runs, none earned, 5 strikeouts. And make it 6. We get a throw down to first here on the drop, 3rd strike. And it's caught in Loper with the foot on the bag. And we will go to the bottom of the 6th. Now tied at 2 after some misplayed balls out in the field for Martinsburg. Lets the Cardinals get the tying run across. We'll take a 60-second break and be back to the bottom of the 6th. See if Martinsburg can get that run back. It's West Virginia High School playoff baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Our bottom of the 6th is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to FordofHagerstown.com. Buy your next vehicle online. They'll deliver it to you. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. Silas Zarnicki will come up to start the bottom of the 6th. Trying to redeem himself after the error that allowed the Spring Mills Cardinals to get the tying run across. Starts off 0-1. Now he'll watch the next pitch bounce in front of home plate.
Yeah,
Make
for
it 1-1.
Zarnicki, he hasn't got on base tonight. He's generally been the on-base guy for Martinsburg.
Yep, 0-2. Flew out to right field in the 1st. Struck out looking in the 3rd.
Music's playing. I didn't hear it. Music was on there. They say. But I'm deaf. I couldn't hear it.
And this one just barely clips Silas Zarnicki. He'll go down to first base on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, you never know about high school baseball, how things are going to start there. Rylan Schwartz is talking to Silas Zarnicki, like, show me where it hit you. And he pointed to his, shirt there where it caught him there. So Martinsburg we're going to try to bunt him over here with Christian Alter. Maybe steal, I'm not sure. Eichelberger's been really good behind the plate here. Ann's already caught one runner stealing as Spring Mills again gets their bullpen up as Butts and Cumley down there are getting ready. The right-hander and lefty. Should Spring Mills find a way to get a run here in the top of the 1st and hold Martinsburg here in the bottom. Top of the 7th.
Alter squares around. He'll pull it back. It's ball 1. They might catch Zarnicki. No, he's able to slide back. Schwartz perhaps too far out in front of the bag to be able to make a play.
A good throw on the backside gets Zarnicki. He got caught hung out there for sure. And, almost ended that leadoff walk and got caught on the bases. So going to get a timeout here by – it was a timeout already. But yeah, the error, the start of the inning, and then the pickoff errant throw. That excuse me, I'm going to get the ball here. A lot of things didn't go Martinsburg's way that inning. They shot themselves in the foot there with a ground ball. Runner got on, then a pickoff play. The runner moved up. Then they get a pass ball, and then they get a fly ball they don't catch. So that inning was just bad baseball, as I think you'd hear any coach say for Martinsburg, and it's not characteristic of how they play the game. So, but Spring Mills tip their hat. They capitalized on it, and we're sitting here on a 2-2 game in the bottom of the seventh or bottom of the sixth here, and we didn't expect anything different, did we?
Nope. So far, Spring Mills 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error, as 2-0 comes in for a strike. Martinsburg 2 runs on 3 hits and 3 errors.
Yeah, Christian Elter has one of those hits in the first inning. Come around to score. Scored Zalis Zarnecki.
Two-1. Takes a stab at it for the bunt. Misses. Strike 2.
Yeah, actually that first inning base hit by Alters was after 2 outs, so he ended up coming around to score himself in that first inning.
Yeah. Stole a base. And
anybody who knows me knows I don't write very well. I can't read my own writing. Neither team's been able to execute the bunt very well today, that's for sure.
Pickoff attempts. Not able to get him that time.
Comley starting to throw in behind the mound, so he's warming that arm. As Butts has already thrown, looking like he might have been ready to go. Should it have happened earlier in the game.
2-2 breaking ball. Breaks way outside. Run the count full.
Yeah, big part in the game here. 3-2, 2 outs. Do you run here? You got a 50-50 chance of a walk, or putting some pressure on the defense, or you got a 50-50 chance of strike him out, throw him out. So big pitch here, big spot in the game as Sweeney's going to step off, and Sweeney had 84 pitches here in the bottom of the sixth. Both pitchers are kind of mimicking each other, as neither have really allowed the other teams to score or get on base much, but they've certainly there's been some things that happen that have let both teams get a few runs.
Payoff pitch, Alter, foul it away. Winner of this game stays in the winner's bracket in the regional playoffs to take on the 1 seed Jefferson Cougars tomorrow in Shenandoah Junction.
Still 3-2. Nobody out.
Sweeney back on the rubber. A look in.
Wysaki's in a double play depth here as Andrew stays back looking for a ground ball that he can turn over into a double play.
Another payoff pitch. Breaking ball. This is going to be hit high in the air, but playable, catchable for the center fielder, Keelan Curry, and he will make the play for the first out. Go-ahead run for Martinsburg stays at first.
Yeah, 3-2, 2 out. See, Alter has something to say to Eichelberger as he goes by for whatever reason. I'm not sure. You're going to hear a signal called out. Nick's coming up, the number 4 hitter for Martinsburg. Man on first, 1 out. Alter unable to move the runner over and or get on himself.
Domenico was able to draw a walk in the first inning and popped up in the infield in his second at-bat in the fourth. Another throw over by Sweeney, keeping Zarnecki close at first. Still action in the Spring Mills bullpen. And Domenico is going to hit this one. It's a laser, but it's clearly fouling out of play. Looks like, again, it's Cumley and Butts over in the Spring Mills bullpen, throwing in the right field foul territory. Oh, 1 to Domenico. Sweeney throws. This will be another one that's hit Foul out of play. But, okay, yeah, a balk.
He called a balk there on him, and Sweeney doesn't like it. He didn't come set. And never, the coach is getting confirmation on it. He got called up in the game there a little bit and come down and didn't come set at all. So that moves Martinsburg's runner into. So we've seen these guys get on base and get in the scoring position in kind of odd ways, either, uncharacteristic errors by Martinsburg when the throw to short to first, and then the pickoff play that got away, then the fly ball that wasn't called. Those three errors, at this point is what's given Spring Mills a chance. Martinsburg has a big double by Loper and then the single by Jameer Brown is what giving them their second run to bring us to this 2-2 tie here. So Domenico with a chance here to put his team up with a run with late here in the game.
Another 0-1 to Domenico. He's going to hit this one on the line. Into right field. Base hit. Zarnecki getting he's going to get held up. It looked like Coach Byler at first gave him the go, but then decided otherwise.
Zarnecki couldn't. He had to wait on that laser to get by Rylan Schwartz. He didn't want to get doubled up, so that he never even got to take a step until that ball went by Schwartz. It was hit so hard. Coach Byler was kind of bringing him around the corner in case it was bobbled, and then he run down the line to stop him when he realized that that Trumpauer had come up with it cleanly and had a good strong arm out there. So we got first and third, timeout by Coach Anderson, which is Jake Anderson's dad there, the DH, and he's going to come out and talk to him about this first and third play as Nick Domenico is going to come across, talk to Coach Byler. Remember that Domenico's coming off that knee surgery, so we're going to see a runner. Is he 100%? Can he steal here? Double steal. We're going to have to. These are going to be games going to be broken down here, and maybe won or lost by maybe some coaching decisions as you see Coach Anderson giving some pretty direct, detailed information here. As Coach Byler standing amongst his players, his on-deck players, batter, and the two guys that are on. So, let's see what happens here with, I believe, Henderson coming to the plate and men on first and third.
Domenico, who was able to steal second base in the first inning, but it was after Alter had stolen third and just had second base pretty much given to him here.
A lot of options here for both teams. Spring Hill's going to pitch out to see what happens, to see if Martinsburg opts to try, anything as far as, trying to manufacture this run, or is Martinsburg just going to play it station to station here. And at this point, I don't look for either team to do too much this first, but maybe a pitch out.
Here's a squeeze bunt, missed, and Zarnecki almost caught in a rundown, but no throw down.
Yeah, he's going to get Grant Henderson for
interference. Oh, wow.
He's going to get Grant for interference. So anyway, Grant, the squeeze was on first and third. Zarnecki comes down the line. Grant goes to put the bunt down, and then the pitch was outside, so that forced Grant to reach and move across the plate. Grabs catches that pitch, and then tries to throw back to third. But when he turns to throw back, there stood Grant Henderson, and Henderson's going to be out on interference on that particular play. So now you got two outs, first and third, as Henderson's called out for the interference, and Martinsburg fanfare doesn't care for it. I'm not sure exactly what he could have done, but Eichelberger did the right thing by just creating contact there between him and Henderson. So Eichelberger made the play on that particular one by creating that contact.
Foul tip straight back from Malachi Green.
Green went after that one. He almost put the team up 3 runs with that one. So still men on first and third. Now you're kind of stuck with Domenico, not really stuck, but you're probably not going to steal there with him with that bum knee.
0-1 count to Green.
Now they're going to move up.
It's a wild pitch. Zarnecki is going to score. Martinsburg takes the lead back.
So Zarnecki gets some vindication after the hit by a pitch, some pretty good base running, and he's going to come in and get the go-ahead run for Martinsburg. So at this point now, you've got another man in scoring position, Green up, and Martinsburg has retaken the lead. So runs have come across in some different ways here this game.
1-1 outside. Looking at the replay of the interference call here on TV10 on the YouTube stream, I think it's a fair call.
Yeah, he kept backing up when you look at it that way. I don't think he certainly didn't intend to do it, but the pitch was out. But as he's walking back, the catcher's trying to backstep. So, they just continue to both move in unison backwards. So, looking at it in the replay, we're certainly going to have to agree there. In live, it kind of looked like Grant was just going after it and then going back to the box. But if he just would have stayed where he was at and ducked. But ultimately, it turned out better because if he throws down, he gets the runner, and Grant's up, and we take the guy off third base. So, in a sense, it was a blessing for Martinsburg to not have Zarnecki picked off a third and just take the interference. But still a great play by Eichelberger to create, the contact there. And Eichelberger's been back there a couple years, and he's an IQ baseball guy. So hats off to him. But these last, the way these runs have been manufactured, it's been fun to watch here.
Tough break for Spring Mills, as well as J.P. Sweeney's pitched in this game. For a wild pitch to be what gives Martinsburg the lead. Here's a check swing, strike 2, make it a 2-2 count.
So during all that, looks like Deeds, I believe, is it Deeds that come in to run for Domenico's coming off that knee surgery? Spiker's in.
Yep.
So they did take out Domenico momentarily.
Green 0 for 2 on the day so far. The grounder and the line out, both to second base.
He's hit it hard, though. He's seeing the ball well.
And the breaking ball tries to break onto the outside corner, but just barely misses. 3-2 now.
3-2, 2 outs. Runner's not going to move, not being forced. Going to have to hang up and go on contact. Anders holding the runner in behind him, because of the left-handed batter.
Here's the pitch. It'll be low. Ball 4. Green takes first. Sweeney maybe a little bit flustered now that he's lost the lead here. And I think here comes Coach Barrett to take him out of the game.
Bradley Butts is coming in. Sweeney more than likely will stay in the game for his bat, but maybe he's going to go get a glove. I'm not sure.
Or take him off the mound at the very least. So as Bradley Butts comes in, warms up, we'll take a 60-second break, and we'll come back. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And Braden Armolt due up. Is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
New pitcher on the mound as we get a call to the bullpen. Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg is our sponsor for our call to the bullpen. Your total insurance solution located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361. It'll be Bradley Butts, who was the starter in this game between these two teams last week. He'll come in to try to keep the Cardinals at just 1 run behind as we go to the top of the 7th. And he only needs 1 out to do it, but 2 runners on for Braden Armolt to come up to the plate.
For the Cardinals, number 1, Bradley Butts.
Is 0 for 2 so far with 2 strikeouts against Sweeney, but a right-handed batter gets to see a left-handed pitcher.
Bulldogs, number 18,
this time.
Braden Armolt.
The big lefty to the mound.
Spiker at second base. Malachi Green at first after drawing the walk to end the day for J.P. Sweeney.
Armold here looking to pick himself up after the 2 strikeouts, and he's going to hit one here.
First pitch swinging. Deep right center field, going back and making the catch is Landon Trumpauer. And
carried
on one pitch is able to get that one out. And now Spring Mills has a chance. Only 3 outs to work with. Down by 1. We go to the top of the 7th. Grant Henderson will try to close the door on a complete game win for Martinsburg here in the playoffs. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
When you are looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age.
Top of the 7th inning here from P.O. Faulkner Park. Grant Henderson try to close out a complete game win, up by 1 run, 3-2. Our top of the 7th brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance.
Number 9, Landon Trumpauer.
At 7, 8, and 9 in the order for Spring Mills. Trumpauer, Wysocki, and Curry, who on the day are a combined 1 for 5. Trumpauer got himself a base hit last at bat. Wysocki 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Curry gotten on with a hit by pitch, but then he struck out. We'll see if Henderson can get through this part of the order in similar fashion. First pitch swinging is Trumpauer, and it takes 1 bounce and into the glove of Christian Alter for the first out.
Yeah, big out right there. The ball was hit well. Trumpauer got a barrel on that one. One hopped it right to Alter, who makes a tough play there or easy play on the one hopper and throws it right over the loper for out number 1.
And that was pitch 89 for Grant Henderson.
Number 10.
Through 6 1/3 innings, he's given up just 3 hits and 1 walk. And both runs he's given up have been unearned. He's got 6 strikeouts. And there's a big swing and miss by Wysocki to start the at-bat. 2 of those strikeouts have been to the second baseman, the number 8 hitter, Tristan Wysocki.
Well, you're going to see 3 hits on Game Changer, but that's not a hit down there to third baseman, so that's an unearned run. But don't want to make anybody mad, but that's not a hit. It just was a bad, just was a ball that should have been caught by the shortstop or the third baseman. So he's still a 2-hitter.
Yep, here's strike 2. I also have it as 2 hits in my scorebook here.
Mm-hmm. So it is what it is, but it happens. But you have to. Anyway, regardless, there's 2 outs to go for Martinsburg. Spring Mills trying to keep this game alive, but that's going to be strike 3 taken. Wysocki goes down looking again. He's had 3 strikeouts today. Not a day that he wants to remember by any means, but young man will rebound, of course, and he's nursing, like I say, that sore thumb there. But Martinsburg, Grant Henderson has come out with some confidence, and you look at him, he's standing there on the mound like, let's go. And second that Curry steps in, he's ready to go.
A hat trick for Wysocki, and a foul tip for Curry to start this at-bat. As I mentioned, top of the 3rd, he was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and then eventually came around and scored. And then in the top of the 5th, he struck out swinging. Henderson, 7 strikeouts. 0-1, high and up and inside.
That's the pitch that got him earlier. Was under the sleeve and not on top.
Some more chin music. Makes it 1-1, but Curry steps in, close to the plate and swings at strike 2.
There you go. If you're at home, you see, look, Grant Henderson's going to come right to the mound and be ready the second he steps his foot in that box. He's going to attack. He smells blood in the water. He works quick. 1-2, 2 outs. Martinsburg a strike away. Spring Mills trying to keep it going, bring it back to the top.
And here's the ball. Makes it 2-2. Looks like we have a final score from Washington, 13-3. Patriots beat Musselman.
Yeah, so we're going to get a little chat there by Zarnecki to Henderson. He must have seen something there that he wanted to, because he looked like 2 outs, 2 strikes. He was kind of cruising there, so something Coach Zarnecki or Coach Ballard wanted to get to Grant Henderson prior to this pitch here, this 2-2 pitch. Deuce is wild, 2-2, 2 outs.
It'll be the 98th pitch from Grant Henderson. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
I think Carl Zarnecki told him to strike him out.
He must have told him.
Curry with a tough spot there down against a great pitcher there, ready to attack. But Martinsburg comes up with a victory. Spring Mills, like I said, not dead by any means, plenty of pitching. And it's a long week. We got some rain in the forecast, so it's going to be fun to see. We might get enough rain to see Grant Henderson again. Who knows the way that forecast is.
Yep. And until the weather changes things, perhaps tomorrow, we'll see. Scheduled for tomorrow at 7 o'clock is Martinsburg going to Jefferson. And the last time they did that, they beat the number 1 team in the state, the Cougars. We'll see but that was with Grant Henderson on the mound. And Coach Byler said it'll be Jameer Brown up next. So we'll take a 2-minute break, head to the postgame show after Martinsburg gets the 3-2 victory over Spring Mills. Spring Mills will next play on Wednesday, awaiting the loser of tomorrow's Martinsburg-Jefferson game. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
Welcome into the Palace Lounge postgame show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. 3-2, Martinsburg gets the win. We'll just go ahead and get you through the game scoring summary brought to you by the Manchifrodi Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to WVJusticeLawyers.com. Martinsburg was able to take an early 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Spring Mills knotted it up at 1 apiece in the top of the third. Then Martinsburg got back on top with a run in the bottom of the fifth. And then Spring Mills top of the 6th, was able to tie it up at 2. And then bottom 6, we get the wild pitch to make it 3-2 Martinsburg. We move to the 7th inning, and Grant Henderson is able to shut the door, close the deal, complete the complete game, and get the win for Martinsburg.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Grant had to battle through some adversity. Martinsburg certainly been very good on the field for the most part this year and had made some nice plays there. That one inning, it really had to be depleting to get, a ground ball, then it kicks away, then throw, a pickoff move gets thrown away, and then you get a fly ball, doesn't get caught, and you feel like you've worked yourself out of that, and you don't get that out. Sometimes if you don't have the mentality to overcome that can be the undoing of most young pitchers. But Grant Henderson, he stuck in there, and he put his head, he didn't let it get to him. You see Martinsburg now starting to come together a lot as a team when those errors happen, and they will happen. We're not saying that these kids are perfect by any means. They happen, and they're great baseball players on both sides, and things happen. But when they say, "Hey, that's my bad," tap yourself on the chest, pick me up. I mean, that just shows that's the maturity that has happened to Martinsburg as they've moved throughout this season. And again, we've watched Martinsburg lose some games, here and there. They probably shouldn't have lost, but it wasn't quite maybe not the ones they checked on their schedule that they had to win. But we've seen them go to Jefferson with a check mark on that schedule. We want that game, or the Washington games. We want those games and grind it out, and in fact find ways to win those games. And it comes down to their starting pitching a lot of times, holding those other teams down, and those guys just keeping their, giving their team a chance to win regardless of, the defense or the offensive prowess there that doesn't happen at times, the run support. So, it's one thing to be a really good pitcher. It's another thing to be a pitcher and and things happen around you that you can't control, and continue to keep your head and to be mentally tough, as these guys are that pitch for Martinsburg. Just a great job from those guys.
All right, we've got Grant Henderson in here.
Got a surprise guest, too, behind him.
Surprise guest, yeah, Coach Byler. Grant, I'll ask you this question real quick, then I'll hand over my headset to you real quick while we get the third one set up. But you go out there, you go the distance. It was touch and go through there, whether you were pitching with a one-run lead or pitching tied, but through it all, you were able to persevere and get the win for your guys. How were you feeling out there as I hand this over to you?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely feeling great. I mean, I didn't have my best stuff tonight. I feel like we pushed through in big moments, got outs we needed to, and yeah, I mean, we just kind of relied on weak contact to all the guys, and I think the guys did a great job fielding it up for me.
Yeah, you're cruising around there, a couple times. I was just sitting there talking about, being a pitcher. We watched you on the mound. I even said, hey, if you're a young pitcher out there, look at Grant. He gets on the mound. He gets the baseball back. He's ready to attack. He moves on to next pitch. Maybe, depending on how you score it, maybe 2 hits. Probably none of them earned tonight. Cruising along a couple innings. Next thing you know, a few things happen behind you, and guys are in scoring position or they've scored. How do it's a special attribute to be able to stay mentally tough like that. What goes through your mind, and what do you say to yourself when things don't go, when you make the pitch, but you get the soft contact, but you don't get the result?
I think it's important to tell myself whenever I get those kind of moments on the field. I think it's important to tell myself just to pretend like there's 2 outs, no one on, just get the out, just try to pitch for the out, and then usually from there that's kind of my mindset, but it just goes smoothly from there.
Yeah, they're a really good baseball team. They just come off of a 8-2 victory over you guys. I said, and then maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I said, there's a couple of games on that schedule that Martinsburg really said, regardless of this season, we're young, things happen. These are games that we want to win, and somehow or another, you guys have come together as a family and got those signature wins. When you have these big games and you have these ones that that they're must-win games in your mind on the schedule and the playoffs, what's the feeling in the dugout amongst the teammates, not necessarily the coaches, but you guys players?
I think we definitely have to tell each other, especially with playoffs now, it's an 0-0 record. You're coming in here fresh. You got to come in here and play good baseball. At any given point you can put up some big numbers on the board. So you just got to pretend that, the game's 0-0 in the ninth inning and just play the best baseball you possibly can. So,
so you come out here tomorrow. I mean, rain pending. You get a big game with Jefferson. You're going back down there. Jameer, I believe, will go on the mound down there. What was said when you guys left here?
Pretty much just saying that playoff games are going to be tight. We got to play gritty baseball. We got to stick with each other the whole time. And I mean, playoff baseball is not going to be 10-run ball games. It's not going to be big scoring run games. So we just got to make sure we minimize all the runs and just make sure we stay fundamentally sound on the field.
Congratulations, great game. You looked great from up here.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Grant. Now we will hand it over to Coach Byler. Coach, that was a heck of a game. You guys were going from having a lead to being down one, tie game throughout it. What's that like for you as you're going through a game like that that's back and forth and, runs are hard to come by?
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of fun. I don't know. We know we're going to make mistakes at times. We have grown up a lot, but the inexperience is there. A lot of guys on the field tonight never played a playoff baseball game. Thought Grant Henderson kind of put us on his back. Thought Jameer got a big hit there with the fifth inning, and we tried to give it away, and then they gave it back to us. So, we found just enough offense to get it done and got really good pitching, and sometimes that is playoff baseball in a nutshell.
Yeah, you get a 2-out big double from Loper. You opt to bunt there with RJ. That says a lot about the what you think, Jameer and what he brings to the table there as you move it over and you manufacture that run, but then immediately kind of give it away with 3 straight errors. What goes through your head, and how do you? And I told Grant, and I'm sitting here, it's like, what more can you say about a young man that can just just staying through the storm like that and still come out there ready to attack. I mean, your team has grown up since the first game of the year, I would say.
Yeah, 100%, and I think Grant handled it better than I probably did in the dugout. You know what I mean? If we're being honest, I didn't handle it real well because that stuff can't happen in once we get to playoff games. We're 32 games in. We've got to make those plays. And I told the guys out there in the huddle, I said, if I'm talking to you about mistakes and giving away runs, then I'm probably going to be talking to you for the last time. We're moving on from it. At the end of the day, that's a really good win. That's a playoff win for a lot of guys that have never played playoff baseball before. So, regardless of how we got it, we're going to be darn happy about it.
So you got Nick Domenico back. And, he comes kind of stepping right in. What does it say about his preparation getting here and how much he was missed this year? We don't talk about him at all. It's the first time we've mentioned him actually on the broadcast. So what's Nick bringing to the table here late in the game?
Yeah, he adds some depth. He adds another bat. He adds a pitcher. We've been dealt our fair share of injuries, and it's nice to get him back. And I think he brings a little bit of spark, and he brings some fresh legs and a little want to. He wants to get after it because he hasn't had all those games to get after it. So it's good to see him back in the lineup, and I'm sure you'll see him on the mound as this thing continues on.
Young group of kids, got a big game tomorrow. How do you keep them from settling and saying, all right, we won a playoff game, and then, and keeping them hungry because they looked really hungry tonight?
Yeah, they were. And, as much as we talk about youth, being a bad thing, sometimes, come this time of year, it's not. It's a good thing, because most of them are coming back and they're not seniors and they're not worried about graduation and they're just excited to play baseball and get after it, and they kind of play with that, nothing to lose mentality, and, sometimes that's the way to play the game. So, I think they'll be ready to go tomorrow, and I think they'll go out there, and I think Jameer will give us a great chance to win, and we just show up, put our jersey on, take the field, play as hard as we can, see what happens, and they've found a way when things have mattered to get the job done. So I got a bunch of confidence in them.
Yeah, those guys have. We talked about up here. There were some games on the schedule that Martinsburg certainly would want to win, and for multiple reasons. And we don't want to go into all the reasons, but there were games on there that you had to have highlighted, and somehow or another, that team has looked at those games and come out and played with the hunger. And I have to think that tomorrow is another one of those games.
I think that you're 100% right on that.
Congratulations, and hope the rain holds off and you get a chance tomorrow to see Jefferson.
Hey, thank you guys. Thanks for being here.
And we get to go down there.
We do.
Yeah, we get to go down, sit in the rain.
Yeah, there you go. Unless, if the rain comes early enough, it'll end up being Wednesday or whenever instead. But for now, it's 7 o'clock first pitch tomorrow at Jefferson for Martinsburg. And
we don't get Ballard up here much, so we had to ask you as many questions as possible. He might not come back. Right, he might not come back.
You never know. Spring Mills will await the loser of tomorrow's game, and then that Wednesday game between Spring Mills and the loser of that will be an elimination game.
And let's get one thing straight. Spring Mills is going to face Martinsburg if they win with 2 pitchers down. They're going to face Jefferson with one of their pitchers down, and they're still sitting with Cumley over there, Butts over there. They got a plethora of pitching over there, so they are in no way, shape, or form going out of here thinking that their season is going to be over here in a couple of days. It's going to be fun to watch the end of the week, and hopefully see how this rain plays into it and rest and everything. But it's just been fun to watch. The final score up at at Washington. Washington walked it off in the bottom of the 5th for a 13-3 victory. Musselman come out to a hot start. Washington changed pitchers over to Jackson Earl, shut them down. Camden Woolham ended up taking the loss, I believe, in that one, or possibly Tanner Sharp, depending on, I didn't look at the box, but those 2 guys combined ended up taking on the chin here today. So Musselman, on the other hand, has got to get a day off, and they got to regroup and figure out a way how to beat the loser over there, as Hedgesville's sitting there, has to be chomping at the bit waiting on Washington tomorrow.
Yep, similar situation there. It'll be Washington and Hedgesville, with Musselman awaiting the loser on Wednesday, and elimination game there as well. So we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, if the rain holds off, from Jefferson. Martinsburg takes them on. For Colin McLaughlin back at the studio, Nick Verzolini, Alec Epperson, Kyler High behind the cameras, John Alderton, our on-site producer, Trip Tobin next to me on the call. I'm Dylan Bishop saying so long from P.O. Faulkner Park. Martinsburg gets the win over Spring Mills 3-2 and stays on the winner's bracket side of things here in the regional playoffs in Region 2. This has been West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday night.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Trips Flooring, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Burke Schultz Herman and Jenkinson Personal Injury Attorneys, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, the Larry DeMarco Team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, Hagerstown Ford, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations Robert Fields & Sons, The Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Floor Pools, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Martinsburg and Winchester Dealerships, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, The Palace Lounge, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Murius Group Ameriprise Financial Services LLC, and the Berkeley County Health Department.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talkradio WRNR.com. All rights reserved.